Good morning, everybody. There are some of you that are still not completing the activity for 3.01, which was the lab one. It has two parts to it. I'm going to go ahead and show you on your screen where to get to that and how to answer the questions. I've sent out multiple emails and I went through it during our Google Meet sessions, so I was hoping that that would clear things up, but let me go ahead and help again. 3.01 was about energy and temperature. If you went through all of the modules, you would see that it talks about energy and temperature. I'm going to fast forward through the last slide. Slide 6 gives you your assignment. It says energy and temperature activity. Okay, in this activity, you will heat up your critical thinking skills by having you develop an experiment that tests whether land or water heats faster. Follow the directions on the energy and temperature activity worksheet and submit the worksheet when finished. Be sure to review the grading rubric before beginning your work. You click on the blue underlined words that say Energy and Temperature Activity Worksheet. It says, note, you are not performing the experiment, only designing it. It has two parts. Part 1 is experimental design, and Part 2 is to design the lab report, where you are outlining the lab report so that somebody else could complete it. Part 1, experimental design, has 10 questions that you should respond to. Part 2, in the lab report, you need to explain the purpose of the lab or give the objective. You need to fill in the gaps in the procedures, and then you need to identify and label what your data table would look like if you were carrying out the experiment. And then you need to write down what an experimenter would include in their conclusion. You can always open this file to your computer, and that way you can show your work on a document. Don't forget that if you share that document in your Google folder for science, then I can automatically see it. If you don't share it with me and you try to upload it into the submission section, I can't grade it. Okay, so here's the activity worksheet for you to do. You can print it from home and write on it directly. You can answer the questions on here. Okay, we went through all 10 of these questions in our Google Meets on both days. Okay, right here where it says design the lab report, you can just type in the purpose of our lab. It was to determine whether water or land heats up faster, right? This is the document then that you would upload into the assignment. So then you come out of your activity, you go back to the submission part, and you would upload it into the submission. You could also type your responses in the submission form, or you can take a picture of your paper copy where you wrote down your responses by hand. I hope this clears up some confusion, and if you have any other questions, that you contact me.